Ever wish your AI could, like, pull up Google right alongside you?
Oh, totally.
Like, hey, Bard, right, settle this debate I'm having in the comments. Turns out that's not sci-fi anymore.
Yo.
It's actually called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RVANI.
Array. Catchy.
Yeah, it's basically AI that can actually tap into those external sources. So we're talking like Wikipedia databases.
Whoa, the whole internet knowledge buffet.
Yeah, the whole buffet.
Right.
So we're talking, potentially next level research assistants.
Okay, but imagine, like, I'm asking about, I don't know, the best vitamins to take, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the AI finds some, like, sketchy forum thread.
Right.
And it's like, here's the answer.
Yeah.
And it's based on that.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's kind of what this paper, Astute RAG, Overcoming Imperfect Retrieval, it's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful.
But that's what they're getting at. They actually tested this with real Google searches, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Not some, like, pristine lab setup.
Interesting. So, like, the real deal.
Okay.
And what they found was kind of startling, to be honest. Like, close to 70% of the time, the top Google result
Wow.
didn't have the answer straight out.
Nope.
No. We're not even talking about, like, obscure trivia here, right?
Right.
Stuff I think, okay, Google's got this. Easy.
Common knowledge kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
70%.
Yeah.
So most of the time, the AI is getting,
Garbage.
well, yeah, noise alongside the signal,
Yeah.
which makes this whole Astute RAG sound even more intriguing. What's so astute about it?
Well, it's like giving the AI a more refined, thought process.
Right.
It goes beyond just grabbing that first thing that Google spits out.
Okay.
So it's got three main steps. The first is adaptive generation.
Okay. Adaptive generation.
Imagine the AI is actually trying to answer you from what it already knows.
Interesting.
So like a first draft before even hitting that search button.
Okay. So it's got its own internal knowledge base in a way,
Exactly.
but then it's also checking those external sources.
It's like comparing notes. And that's where the second step comes in. Source-aware consolidation.
Source aware. Okay.
So now the AI is acting less like, a kid just grabbing any book off the shelf and more like a historian evaluating sources.
Right. I like that.
Like, is this a reputable journal or is this someone's, ramblings on some random blog?
So it's not just what the info is, but where it's coming from, which kind of like how we should be evaluating information, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then comes the final stage, answer finalization. So imagine the AI kind of lays out all its findings, right? Like its own initial answer, plus everything it's pulled from online. And then it compares, weighs the sources, spots contradictions.
So it's like having a built-in fact checker, but one that also knows how to cross-reference.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm already impressed, but like, does this Astute RAG actually deliver? Like, how much better does it make the AI at handling this, like, messy world of information we've been talking about?
Right. Well, the cool thing is, it's not just about making AI smarter, It's about understanding how we grapple with information ourselves.
Oh, interesting. So it's like this research is holding up a mirror to our own online habits in a way.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, how often do we actually take things at face value, right?
Oh, all the time.
Without really questioning the source.
Yeah.
This Astute RAG thing, it's doing what we ideally should be doing more of, right?
Which honestly is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, to be honest, with all the like misinformation and stuff flying
Well,
around.
tell me about it.
It's so easy to get tricked.
Exactly. And that's what makes this research so compelling, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about making AI better at, spitting out answers.
Right.
It's about understanding the very nature of information itself.
And like how to sift through it all to find the good stuff.
Right. Think about it.
Yeah.
If AI is struggling to tell good information from bad, even with all these fancy algorithms, what does that say about us?
Ooh, good point.
Like, what skills do we need to be responsible users at not just AI, but the information it relies on?
It's like we need to level up our own like information literacy or something.
Exactly. It's not enough to just know how to search, right?
Right.
We need to know how to evaluate what we find, discern, like, truth from falsehood, bias from objectivity.
Which, let's be real, those are skills that even a lot of adults struggle with. I know I do sometimes.
Right. That's why I find this whole field of study so fascinating, honestly. It has implications way beyond just AI. It makes us think about, like, how we educate future generations,
Oh, totally.
How do we equip them to be responsible consumers of information, whether it's coming from, a human or from AI?
It's like this research isn't just about AI. It's about like the future of how we learn and understand the world around us.
Exactly. And that brings us back to, like, those three key steps of Astute RAG. All
Right.
right, remember we talked about adaptive generation, where the AI kind of generates its own answer first?
Yeah, yeah.
The researchers actually found that this step alone significantly improved accuracy.
Interesting. So it's like having the AI double check itself before it even looks at external sources.
Exactly. Like giving it a built-in, hold on a
A
second,
little bit of
a
skepticism.
little skepticism.
Well,
Exactly.
anyway, that makes a lot of sense. But what about when the AI does need to consult those external sources? That's where source-aware consolidation comes in,
Yes,
right?
I got it. That's where the AI gets really discerning, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't treat all sources equally at that point. It looks at the credibility of the website,
Yeah.
the author, the publication date,
Hmm.
all those things that, frankly, a good researcher should be considering.
It's like it's asking, can I trust this information? And if so, how much?
And that is the million-dollar question that we should be asking ourselves more often, too, don't you think?
100%. But I mean, it's easy to get caught up, right? Like in the convenience of just having information at our fingertips.
Oh, yeah.
We don't always stop to think, wait, where is this coming from? Who's behind it? Why are they telling me this?
Exactly. And that's where that final step, answer finalization, comes in. This is where the AI really flexes,
Yeah.
compares all those potential answers, weighs their sources, looks for agreement or contradictions.
It's like it's piecing together a puzzle, trying to find the most like complete and accurate picture.
And that's what's so exciting about this research, I think. It shows we're making real progress in teaching AI to think more like, you know, human experts, to be more discerning, more critical of the information it uses.
Which, as we've been saying, is a skill that's becoming increasingly important for all of us in this digital age.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And it's not just about being able to, like, spot fake news or misinformation either.
Right.
It's about being able to evaluate information from a variety of sources to synthesize different perspectives and to form, our own informed opinions.
And that brings us back to like the heart of this whole deep dive.
Yeah.
What does this all mean for, the person listening right now? How can you apply these insights from the world of AI to your own life?
Well, I think for one, it highlights just how important it is to be an active and engaged consumer of information, right?
Totally.
Don't just passively absorb whatever you come across online. Question those sources, consider the biases, and don't be afraid to, like, dig a little deeper.
Yeah. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Tools like this Astute RAG thing, they're being developed to actually help us navigate this crazy, complex information landscape.
Exactly. Think of AI as a partner in your quest for knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Not a replacement for your own critical thinking.
I like that. So it's a partnership.
It's a partnership. It's really interesting how they tested this whole Astute RAG thing.
Yeah.
They didn't just use, like, made-up situations.
Right.
They actually threw real Google search results at it.
Oh, wow.
The same, like, messy, sometimes contradictory stuff we all see.
Yeah, because saying your AI is smart in a perfect little lab setting, that's one thing.
Right.
But proving it can handle the wild west of actual Google searches, that's different.
Exactly. And remember that 70% thing we keep coming back to,
Yeah, yeah.
where most of the time the top search result doesn't have the answer just straight up.
Right.
Astute RAG had to deal with that.
So it's like, if it can handle that and still give you good info.
Imagine what it can do with even better sources, right?
Right. Exactly.
And that's what they found. Even with those messy search results, Astute RAG was consistently doing better than other models. Especially good at, like, filtering out the bad info and really honing in on, okay, this seems like the most reliable source.
Okay, so it's proving itself in the real world, which I like.
Yeah.
But for, you listening right now, what's the takeaway?
Yeah. Good question.
How does this change how you use AI or even just think about online info?
I think it comes down to this. AI is a tool. Powerful? Sure, but it's still a tool.
Okay.
And Astute RA shows us the progress we're making,
Yeah.
but it also shows that we can't just blindly trust any AI, even if it can access the entire internet.
Right, right.
We still need to be thoughtful.
So it's not about outsourcing our judgment. It's more like, how do we use these tools to make our own judgment better?
Exactly. It's a partnership, like we were saying before.
Yeah.
You bring your knowledge, your BS detector,
Right.
and the AI, if it's good, like Astute RAG,
Right.
it helps you navigate this crazy information world.
It's like having, I don't know, a super-powered research assistant,
I like that.
but one that still needs you to be the one steering the ship a little bit.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
the direction.
And that actually leads to maybe the final thought for today.
Okay. Yeah.
As AI gets better and better at this stuff, finding info, filtering it, it actually makes it more important for us humans to develop those same skills.
Because if the AI is still struggling with it, with all its algorithms,
Right.
it kind of shows how tough of a problem it is for us regular humans.
Exactly. So be curious, be skeptical. Don't just believe everything you read online.
It's like that's never going to not be good advice right there.
Never. Because of that skill, figuring out what's true, that never goes out of style.
I love it. Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive here.
Into Astute RAG, and honestly, into the future of how we all learn.
Yes. We hope you found this interesting, maybe made you think a little bit differently.
And who knows, maybe the next time you're online, you'll channel a bit of that Astute RAG yourself.
Ooh, I like that. Be your own astute RAG.
Exactly.
Until next time, everyone.